staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in tonight's contest. The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexual comments or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated and are transferred removal. Also, please remember the consumption of presented alcoholic beverages and tobacco use is strictly prohibited, and please stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Thank you for your cooperation. In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with the word of prayer, which will be offered by Kendall Oswald.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day, and thank you that we can be here for this game, and please bless that we can have a great time and that everyone will be safe and have fun, and thank you for all of our many blessings, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Now, if you'd all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Southern Virginia University Pep Band. Thank you. And now, let's get the starting lineup for tonight's game. First, the visiting Salem College Spirits. At guard, wearing number 1, 5'6" junior from El Paso, Texas, Elise Munn. At guard,
Good
wearing
evening,
4, 5'6"
ladies
senior
and
from
gentlemen, and
Charlotte,
welcome
North
to this
Carolina,
presentation of
Elise
Southern
Brooks.
Virginia Athletics and tonight's broadcasting
At guard,
channel.
wearing number
Tonight's
13,
NCAA
5'6" senior
women's
from
basketball
North
matchup
Carolina,
between the Spirits of Salem College and your Southern Virginia University
At guard,
Knights.
wearing number
I'm
32,
Dawson, with joined by my good friend Colby Kemp. And Colby, it's early in the season, and you and I were talking before the game how these early on conference games are so helpful to these teams trying to figure out who they are and what their identity is.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we got the Knights who opened up the season with a good win against Randolph-Macon. Then they went on to lose their next 2 games before they started conference play against, well, actually the second game that they lost was against Methodist in conference play. And so now they're trying to decide, figure out their identity and who they really are and set the tone for this conference season.
After they had a couple of different starting lineups along the way, trying to figure out again what works, what doesn't, what matches do they like the most. And on the Salem College side, they've had a rough start to their season. They're 1-4 on the year. They've had a really hard go of things, and today they're also short 2 players on their roster, only with 10 players dressed out. So it should be interesting to see how they're able to adapt to that sort of situation. Can they come together and they find a way to pull out victories when the odds are starting against them like they are today? I mean, they're in a away game at Southern Virginia. They have a player missing from the roster. They have a losing win-loss record. So we'll see if they're able to pull that out. So of course you have the light show here in the arena. This starts the Knights, or now the Knights starting 5. And starting for the Knights, number 1, J.D. O'Bray. Number 4, Addison Newman. Number 10, Emma Camden. Number 25, Alyssa McGrola. And 41, Courtney Olson. And of course the Salem College starting 5. Number 1, Alize Munn. Number 4, Alize Brooks. 13, Dion Sampson. Number 32, Cree Bass. And number 55, Tamsi Echindu. This will be a very, very exciting match. We've got plenty of fans in the stands here from Southern Virginia. Again, it being a conference game, the rest of the season, when you're facing off against non-conference opponents, just kind of building up your schedule, isn't like confidence building, sort of preseason type of thing. These are the games that count the most. These are the games you have to win going into, of course, later in the season, conference tournament play. You have to get these victories.
Absolutely. The conference games, they're the gateway to the NCAA tournament. So regardless of what you think you know about the team, you got to come out hot and ready and really make a statement early.
And the Knights get the ball first, trying to establish tone. Trying to get it down to Olson. Here's Olson, the jump shot. That's up and in for 2. Olsen, of course, one of the key players in this team alongside Addison Newman. They've had several different players really shine in the early parts of the season, but those are the two that if you're Salem, you want to shut down as much as possible because they are the bread and butter of this night's roster.
Absolutely, and the tough thing for Salem tonight is going to be that Courtney Olsen is really outsizes their low post players, so she's really going to have her way with them tonight down low. Absolutely, as that was a missed shot from Echendu. They were able to get it down to the low post past Olsen, but Olsen was able to provide enough physical contact that was legal to prevent the shot from going in. And that's the corner. Shot clock winding down. Olsen has to go up with it. She gets it out. That shot is up and in for Addison Newman, and so we mentioned the top two players in this roster, Olsen and Newman, and then the first two to score a basket in this game. Great passing from Salem. Missed layup, though, from Leze Munn, excuse me. I'll make sure I get those pronunciations right. Here is Olsen in the paint, going with the right hand. They're going to call a travel on Olsen. Really no surprises here early on, Dawson, with the Knights coming out with their pressure defense. You know, they look to apply that pressure, get some turnovers, and they've been pretty crisp on offense so far as well. And the takeaway from O'Bray, up at the layup and in. The Knights starting off 6 straight points. Another takeaway this time from Newman. Tries to get it O'Bray, and the bounce pass not connecting. The fact that the Spirits came in here short-handed certainly wasn't lost on Coach Schroeder. I'm sure that's a good reason, a big reason why she's starting with this pressure early on. Absolutely, one of the main factors of a basketball game that isn't talked about a whole lot is fatigue. And if you have a roster that's short on players and you don't have a whole lot of depth, that can really wear out your players super fast, to where basically you're doing conditioning drills all the time in practice just to keep up. And we know the Knights have been playing 9-10 players deep all season long. Absolutely, and so now Salem College with at the top of the key is Deion Sampson. That's taken away by Newman. He's gonna go up with the left hand, no good. She gets her own rebound. And that's taken away by Echendu. Here's the three. Up, no good for Cree Bass. So a couple of missed shots early on, some open shots for Salem College. Those are opportunities you have to cash in on. Here's McBrola up with the right hand and in. Salem able to break that press. Blocked by Olsen and taken away by Newman. Gets it into O'Bray for another layup. And a timeout will be called by Salem College as the Knights take a quick 10-0 lead. You know, Kobe, you point out the fact that the Knights are trying to apply pressure defensively, full court press. And when I was able to watch some of the walkthrough that Southern Virginia had earlier today, one thing they really emphasized was making sure, like every press imaginable, you don't want the passes to go to the center of the court. Because once the team that's trying to break a press gets to the center of the court, you can see the rest of the floor, and it's very easy to break it from there. There's been 2 occasions so far for Salem that they have gotten into the middle, and on those occasions, they've gotten to look at the basket. They just haven't been able to connect on any of them yet. And it's always nice to have a player like Courtney Olsen back there anchoring your press. The Knights, their guards are able to take chances, trying to trap the ball, steal the ball, knowing they've got Courtney back there. And that last possession was a perfect example where she came up with the easy block. Easy block is a kind of an understatement, I'd say. It was right out for the taking, able to swat it away. And the Knights, again, capitalizing on those turnovers, already forcing a handful so far, getting a couple of fast break layups. So a very exciting start for Southern Virginia. Again, being a conference game, these are the type of starts you like to see, especially the fact that they've spent the last 3 weeks away from home. This is their first home game since the opener. The fact that you're coming home, right? You're coming home to your home stadium. You want to make a statement. You want to come back and really take advantage of that home court advantage after being away for so long. Oh, absolutely. You know, they were on the road for 2 games. The other thing, I was talking to Coach Schroeder the other day, assistant coach Brett Schroeder, and he mentioned, with the road trip, they were able to kind of a team bonding experience over Thanksgiving holiday. They had a lake house down there at Smith Mountain Lake, in Southern Virginia, and it was a really good time for them. So a couple road games, a holiday, some good time spent together, and I'm back here for another conference game tonight.
And the pass unsuccessful from Bass as the Knights trying to capitalize. That's up and no good. That was the shot from Emma Camden. I believe they're going to call it out on Salem College, and so it'll stay with the Knights. They get it into Olsen. Back in the paint to Newman. She gets to McGrola. Off the backboard and in. Kind of an unconventional play there as McGrola ran right to Newman, who had the ball in the paint. And that's not necessarily what you like to see, but it ended up working out for them in that situation.
It's an assist and a bucket either way.
Exactly. Always looks good on the stat sheet. They're going to call a block on Addison Newman, so it'll stay with the Spirits with Alize Brooks. Actually, they're going to have Minnie Griffin, who substitutes in for the Spirits, who's actually the USA South Rookie of the Week last week against Methodist, scoring 23 points. Only the third player in program history to receive that award.
And the Spirits are in dire need of some sort of a boost right now here with only almost 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter. They're down by 12, so they're going to need Minnie Griffin to come on here and maybe work some of that magic that she did last week.
Absolutely. Newman at the top of the key. Knights trying to set something up. Here's Olsen in the paint, working against Etchendu. I believe she's going to be fouled by Griffin. Griffin was trying to offer some post defense assist down there and try to swat at the ball. So it'll send Olsen to the line. And this is a situation where we were talking before the game, Colby, that Olsen sort of struggled from the line so far this year, only shooting 9 of 16 from the free throw line. And that's a place, and missing right there in the first one, that's a place you have to capitalize, especially when you want to go far in conference tournament play this year.
Well, absolutely. There's going to be times, playing, critical games. There's going to be crucial points in each of those games. And, let's be honest, the offense goes through Courtney. So she's going to have to improve that as the season goes on. Absolutely,
especially being in the paint. You're going to get fouled. Like posts in general in basketball are statistically the most foul position in the game. And so in practice, you got to kind of understand that and be like, okay, I got to focus and lock down on this. Because that was also just a place in general that last year the Knights struggled with, was from the free throw line. Knights working with some screens, shot clock winding down. 5 seconds. And that's going to be a shot clock violation as Minnie Griffin fell to the ground. And I think everybody was kind of surprised to see there was no whistle called or whistle blown. And some substitutions for Southern Virginia. Coming in as number 0, Mariah Savoon, and number 2, Presley Heggie. Here's Newman off the front of the rim, no good. Wide open down, and it finally rolls in for Alize Munn. The first points of the game for the Spirits. Here's the corner. Savoon for 3. That's good! And that extends the Knights' lead. That is the first 3, I believe, from either team so far in tonight's game. It's been a very layup-dominated first quarter. Here's a 3. That one's no good. Hits the top of the backboard, so it'll be called out of bounds on the Spirits. Some more substitutions for Southern Virginia, including number 30, Ruth Kempler, and number 22, Barrett Jessup. And we've seen Ruth Kempler get a decent amount of playing time so far. Again, the freshman coming in at 6'3" from Santa Clarita, California. Really got significant minutes and has a lot of skill skill sets that can really be helpful to tonight's roster. As that shot gets stuck on the rim from Presley Hagee. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, she'll get some comments from her teammates about that.
One of the refs hit it up and it went into the basket, and the other ref jokingly said, well, I'll count for 2. But I said the ball will go back to Salem College.
You got to go back to Ruth Kempler like you were talking, Dawson. You know, she's had some good minutes on the year. I think the coaches would like to see her be a little more physical than what she's been, a little bit more presence out there, but she's definitely shown some talent out there, especially on the offensive end.
Absolutely, she's got a very clean shot. I love the shot that she has, but she's able to shoot from the outside. You know, with her height, being able to shoot from the outside is always an added bonus because it's very hard to block someone at 6'3" at this level of women's college basketball. In the paint, that is up and in for Munn. Again, it's those back cuts that Salem College is looking to utilize, that Southern Virginia's been stressing about this past week leading up to this game. That is taken away by Sampson. Here's Kempler running with her. Sampson throws it up. No good. Savoon with the rebound. Able to dribble out of some traffic. Newman dribbles it out. Here's Kempler for the shot. That is up and in. We talked about her clean shot, clean release. Perfect example right there.
Nice little 15-footer, nothing but the bottom of the net.
I love what Newman just did there. She pulled it out. It wasn't a pretty transition. There wasn't a whole lot that was going on that they liked to see, and so Newman decided wisely to pull it out, look for an open girl, and Ruth was right there for the shot. Ruth kicks it out to Newman. Newman with the floater, that is just short. And Savoon able to take it away, no good. I believe they're going to call Newman for a push, and she'll be substituted out. Coming in for Southern Virginia is Eve Schmalbeck.
And just to go back to that shot one more time that Ruth Kempler made there was no hesitation either, which is something you want to see out of the freshman. She got that ball facing the basket and just knocked it down.
That strip's taken away, but goes back to Salem. And taken away, that time by Heggie. I don't think Savannah Atkins really knew how far underneath the basket she was. In desperation, she tried to get it out. And so that'll be out of bounds, and the Spirits will stay with the Knights. Trying to get it to Jessup, and it's taken away. And that is no good, and rebounded by Munn. Here's a three-pointer. That is up off the right side. Savoon with the rebound. Missing that one was Atkins. That was taken away by Kempler. That is up, no good from Munn. Rebounded by Kempler. I think the Knights kind of want to slow things down a little bit. It's been a sloppy couple of possessions for both teams.
Been a little hectic and no points scored by either side, so I think Coach Schroeder wants to slow it down just a little bit here.
That was taken away by Atkins after the pump fake from Kempler. That taken away by Jessup. As the Knights will once again try to slow it down. Jessup at the point. Kempler goes up, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Heggie. That one's up, no good off the backboard. Rebound once again, up, no good. They're going to call a push on Heggie on the second rebound attempt.
It's a case where the refs are only going to let you pad your stats so much.
I mean, honestly, any player would love to sit there forever and just get their own rebound and get a double-double by the time the first half is over.
That last over the back there, just a little frustrated at having missed those two right there in close. But good hustle, good effort nonetheless.
Another foul on Heggie. She's trying to reach in on the pass to Echendu.
Alon Heggie, 15 foul, third personal on Heggie.
This will be the first free throws attempted by the Spirits. They've also struggled from the line so far this year, around 50% on the season. That first free throw, no good. And a substitution coming in for the Knights. Rayanne Lessing, the senior forward from Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania. Missed free throw, and Jessup gets to Heggie, wide open. Left-handed layup, no good. Schmalbeck with the rebound, up, no good. Simple layups, very difficult for the Knights right now to capitalize on. Here's the three. No, barely touches the rim. That is blocked by Kepler. Zephyr gets it up to Jessup. What a pass. Trying to strip it away was Brooks. Lessing will be checking in for Heggie. As Heggie was getting some plays, we talked about when you miss short shots like that, it tends to make you very frustrated as a basketball player. Because you practice those shots so many times and you know that you can make them 10 times out of 10, but when it doesn't go down in a game, it very easily gets to your head. There's a three, no good. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The Knights dominate with a score 18-4. Of course, the last couple minutes of that first quarter, like we mentioned before, weren't very pretty, but regardless, the Knights have a 14-point lead so far.
Yeah, I think the Knights will be happy with that 14-point lead after that, but there are a lot of missed opportunities there as well the last 2 or 3 minutes there, several layups down low. But on the flip side, the fact that you have those layups means you're running your offense, you're getting the looks that you want, and throughout the course of the game, you're going to make a lot more of those than you're going to miss.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the name of the game for this first quarter, is that both teams had several opportunities to capitalize from close range, whether it be a fast break layup or whether it be a really good cut to the basket where you're wide open. And both teams have missed several of those shots. And so maybe it's something in the air. I don't know, maybe the basketball, maybe someone had polished them a little bit to where they're really difficult to handle. But either way, it's been tough sledding offensively after the first couple minutes.
Well, to be honest, the referees seem to really be letting them play down low a little bit too. They haven't called a lot of ticky-tack fouls. They've really, a lot of those shots have been contested quite aggressively.
Yeah, I always love to see that whenever refs let the players play, let them be a little bit aggressive. Of course, they're not going to let them go overboard.
Exactly.
But when they let them play a little bit, it's much more entertaining, and there's a lot less standing around than ends up happening.
Let the players play. They just manage the game. Don't let it get out of hand. And I think right now that's what we're seeing from these referees.
Absolutely. They're doing a fantastic job. As right now, I believe we'll have the starting lineup for Southern Virginia back on the floor. And on the floor right now for the Spirits, we have Cree Bass, we have Alize Brooks, also Savannah Atkins, and Tamsi Echendu, and number 23, Christina Battistini. Camden for three. That one's no good off the front of the rim. Here are the Spirits with it. Newman defending one-on-one. And that is passed out of bounds by number 23, Christina Battistini. And that's a play we've seen Salem College try to make several times. They try to dribble down to the right side, try to pass underneath the basket to the post. It's supposed to, box out their defender on the opposite side, but it's been very difficult because, again, Southern Virginia, they're prepared for that.
Yep, they worked on that, and, that's the strength of their defense right there as well.
So the Knights with the ball. And as we travel to Melissa McRolla, She tried to spot up for a shot fake. Just took one too many steps.
And after that call, Coach Schroeder was here encouraging Allie to go ahead and just take that shot.
And that is knocked out of bounds, but I believe it'll go off the hands of Deion Sampson. So to go back to Southern Virginia. There's McGrola for three. That one's no good. The only three-pointer that has been made for either team was from Mariah Savoon. That was earlier in the first quarter when she was first substituted in. And they're going to call O'Bray for the hold. So it'll stay with Salem College.
Yeah, nice.
Trying to make sure they're inbounding from the correct location. And we'll get back to the action. "12 seconds on the shot clock." That one's up, no good from Munn. Up ahead to O'Bray. That up and in, that is easy. We're seeing the Knights doing a great job of having people hustle back offensively and create fast scoring opportunities. Etchenu trying to scoop it up underneath, but swinging down and fouling was Olsen.
That was a great fast break on that last possession. O'Bray did a good job of taking off, running down the middle of the floor, and she was spotted easily for the layup.
And it shows great core vision too, and I love the discipline of immediately turning around, surveying the floor, who is open, try to advance it as fast as possible. Because it's always very tempting to just shield the ball, kind of feel secure about it, as that first free throw from Etchenu is good. But instead they're trying to force the ball down the court, set up some good opportunities. Second free throw from Etchenu, rattles out, rebounded by McGrola. Here's Newman for three. That's off to the right side. Rebounded by Nelson. Nelson dribbling through traffic. May have taken an extra step there. No whistle blown. Great strength there from Munn to wrestle it away from McGrola. She gets it up and in. Get to Olsen in the paint. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Tries to bounce it into McGrola. Here's Camden in the paint. That rattles in with 3 seconds left in the shot clock. The Knights get it to fall.
Great cut there with the shot clock winding down. Camden made that cut with her teammate in trouble and was rewarded with the layup.
And great situational awareness as that is taken away by McGrola. And that is knocked out of her hands by Nelson. It goes out of bounds, and so it'll stay with Southern Virginia. And checking in for Salem College, number 32, Cree Bass. And for Southern Virginia, number 12, Kenzie Landon, the freshman from Reno, Nevada. She'll be checking in for Alyssa McGrola. Here's Camden for three. Up and in for Southern Virginia. Taken away by the Knights. Here's Newman with an easy layup. Great pass from O'Bray. Here's Griffin. Etchenu able to recover it. Up. Swatted out of her hands by Landon. A little bit of confusion as Courtney Olson went underneath the basket.
Savvy play by the senior player right there.
Trying to pull the fast one on everyone here in the arena. And that one swatted out of bounds by Landon again. Inbounding once again is Salem College, nearly batted away by Camden. A great look as Bass is cutting to the basket. That one's up and in for Munn. Isaiah Munn now has 6 points. Griffin.
8 points actually for Munn.
You're
just
correct.
Updated here. She got 8 of the 9 points for the Spirits here.
So you're saying you're talking about players that need to step up and make some magic happen for the Spirits. Munn obviously being that one right now. That one's up and in for Olsen. Wanted the foul. Won't get it. Here's Echendu. Committing the foul was Landon. I love the defensive effort though, sprinting in, making sure to recover for a teammate. The only issue is that when you swing down 9 times out of 10, that's gonna get called.
No, she did a good job recognizing there that somebody was there on the backside. She dropped down. Yeah, you can't fault her. She has fouls to give. You know, the freshman recognized what was going on in the court, came over, made a good play on the ball.
Here's a free throw from Echendu. First free throw is good, and during that brief break for the free throw, we had 2 check-ins for Southern Virginia. Number 0, Mariah Savoon, and number 22, Barrett Jessup. Second free throw is up, no good, rebounded by Olsen. Newman unguarded. Here's Savoon for 3. No good, rebounded by Olsen. Brings it down, tries to get up a shot. Munn there defending. Here's Salem College down by 19. Here's Echendu, wide open, up and in. Savoon trying not to commit the foul. Echendu now has 4 points. Olsen up with the left hand. She'll be fouled and sent to the line.
I think we're starting to see the Spirits play a little bit more physical down low.
They absolutely are. I mean, that's one of the better post defensive plays we've seen, or we've seen some of the best defensive play in the post position in this quarter from Salem College. Really doing a great job of trying to frustrate Courtney Olsen. And in some instances, maybe getting away with a couple fouls here and there, being a little aggressive with Olsen, but like we said before, the refs really doing a great job of letting the players play, be a little bit aggressive, play some actual defense, which is always something that I'm going to appreciate as a former player myself.
And it looks like the Spirits have picked up on that. You notice this quarter, they've been a lot more aggressive with the ball down low, playing a lot tighter defense and not afraid to bang the bodies around a little bit.
Absolutely, and real quick, got some stat updates for you. For Southern Virginia, leading scorer right now is J.D. O'Gray with 6 points, followed by Camden with 5, Alyssa McGola with 4, Newman with 4, Olsen, of course, also has 5, and Savoon with 3 points as well, and Kempler has 2. So doing a great job of distributing the ball, and for Salem College, and points leader we mentioned her before, Alize Munn with 8 points, followed by Echendu with 4 points. They're the only 2 players on the Spirits roster to score so far in today's game. And so if you're going to try to whittle into the 17-point lead, if you're Salem College, obviously first things first, you have to get more people involved offensively. You got to get more quality shots up.
Oh, definitely. You know, if they're just going to be running those 2 players, you know, the Knights are able to cover those 2 quite simply. You can't expect 2 players to keep them in the ball game.
Absolutely.
It's the athleticism of the Knights.
I mean, you can't have players like, James Harden, coming in here and taking over an entire game, scoring 70 points for you. But Olsen goes 1 for 2 from the line. Mid-range jumper, that is good for Atkins. And just like that, another player on Salem's roster gets some points. Kick out to the corner. Up the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Madison Staples, who just recently got into the game for the first time. And checking in for Olsen is number 30, Ruth Kempler. Like we previously mentioned, had a jump shot earlier in the first quarter. Here's Jessup with it. There's the shot. That is up and good for Staples, the sophomore from Hurricane, Utah. They're going to call a foul here on, that's going to be on Kempler.
Good to see Staples come in and knock that first three-pointer down. She's, of course, also a very key contributor to the successful run of the women's soccer team here for Southern Virginia.
And it's always nice that as soon as you get in the game to get a good shot like that to really get you going. That shot no good for Griffin. Ball being fumbled around. Jump ball, it'll stay with the Spirits. And speaking of three-pointers, so far the Knights tonight are 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, whereas Salem College is 0 for 6. That shot no good, rebounded by Griffin. That's up and in off the glass. Excuse me, that is Munn on the rebound and score. So with those low three-pointing statistics, if you're looking for a long-range type of game, that's not what you're going to find. Today is going to be more of a in-the-paint, fast-break layup type of game, as we've seen it so far in the first quarter and 3/4.
And that doesn't bode very well for the Spirits because, you know, they're outsized by the Knights. It's going to be tough for them to score consistently in the paint.
You're absolutely right, as Salem College is working it around the perimeter. That is going to be a travel from Griffin. And checking in for Kenzie Landon is number 23, Jocelyn Stewart, the freshman from Okotoks, Alberta, Canada.
Landon gave some really good minutes there.
She really did. Plenty of defensive plays, swatting it away. Really disrupting the offense of Salem College. That's Jessup for the jump shot. That is good. That is good for the senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. So they're going to call a foul on Jessup. She was trying to get through the screen that Atkins was trying to do.
She got through it.
She indeed did get through it. I mean, you always say as a coach, hey, get through the screen.
Cost her a personal foul, but she did get through the screen.
Silver lining, I suppose. First free throw is up and good for Atkins. That was Jessup's first foul of the game. 5th team foul in this half. Second free throw is up and in. Jessup wanted the three, passed it inside to Schmalbeck. That rattles off the backboard and in. And Schmalbeck gets the first points of the game. Once again, trying to pass underneath the basket to the opposite post. And again, Salem College has attempted that several times, but that is a very difficult pass to make, trying to pass it around your defender, especially on a consistent basis.
especially because even if that pass is successful, the player that's receiving that's under the basket, so they're still going to have a tough basket. There's going to be one of the taller SVU players looming large there, ready to block the shot.
The Spirits will be inbounding it from under the basket. Here's Echendu with the ball up, no good. Schmalbeck defending. Schmalbeck comes down with the second rebound. Here's Savoon for three. That one's good. The deep three from Savoon. Trying to figure out exactly what was called.
Delay of game warning. I think Madison Staples grabbed the ball out of the net. The referee didn't appreciate that.
Fair enough. So
the soccer tactic.
Yeah. Seeing that bleed through to other sports here a little bit. Another screen from Atkins. A little bit of tough love between Echendu and Schmalbeck. And checking in for Jessup is Rand Lessing.
See the intensity here starting to pick up a little bit.
The fans starting to get a little bit more involved and a little vocal with a lot of these calls.
Probably starting to see the referees maybe tighten it up just a little bit here.
I think you're absolutely right. They're starting to see some things unravel. And whenever intensity happens in basketball, you're just like you said. It's like a teacher when they notice that some students are misbehaving, they tighten up the rules a little bit in the classroom. And we're on travel on Lessing. Just over a minute left to go in this first half. Real quick, I want to remind you, you're watching this on the Knights Broadcasting YouTube channel. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Comment down below. Let us know how we are doing and how we can improve this viewing experience for you, fans of Southern Virginia, and other fans as well. Atkins to the pump fake. Foul will be called on Christina Battistini. About 57 seconds left in this first half. Whistle's called, trying to make sure everyone was set. Now under 50 seconds to go. Seven kicks out to Schmalbeck. That one way overshot. Rebounded by Alize Brooks. I believe they meant to call that on number 23, Sierra Bands, losing the game for Southern Virginia.
At the line, shooting 2, Alize Brooks.
So Brooks will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws. So it's exactly like you said, Colby, that they're starting to tighten up a little bit, trying to make sure they catch a lot of the smaller things so that things don't get out of hand emotionally.
Yeah, there are a couple instances there where players hit the ground, battling, shoving a little bit, and now we're seeing a couple more fouls called here in the last minute anyway here before we go into the half.
So that free throw is good from Brooks. 30 seconds left. About 5 seconds between the shot and game clock. Baseline. Here's Lessing for a jump shot. That one's up and in. Lessing, the senior from Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, with a jumper. 10 seconds left in the half. Taken away by Savoon. 6 seconds. Savoon drives the lane up, off the backboard, no good, but the Knights will end the first half with a score of 42-20. Dominating so far the Spirits of Salem College. A lot of things going right, but still some things you can clean up, and I'm sure there'll be discussions had at halftime on how to clean those things up for sure.
Well, and also, Coach Schroeder's gone deep into the bench, so this provides a good opportunity for so many of these players to get some experience. A lot of times the experience they get in the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter, but to be able to be out there during some time where it really matters to them. The first half, second quarter and stuff. This is going to really bode well for the Knights, further on into the season.
Absolutely. Again, just getting them on the floor, getting the feel of it, especially like being a conference game. Again, they're winning pretty big right now, but it being a conference game, you get that experience, that feel of what that's going to be like throughout the rest of your collegiate career. And before we sign off for halftime, I want to give a special thank you to our sponsors and partners, Straw's Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. I've been there a handful of times, and I'd say, my drink of choice, Dr. Pepper with some cherry, lime, some cream in there. Fantastic stuff. I want to give them a big shout out. Thank them so much for partnering with Southern Virginia Athletics. And on behalf of myself, Dawson Woodard, and Kobe Kemp, thanks so much for tuning in this first half. We'll be right back when the second half action starts. And we're back for the start of second half action between the Spirits of Salem College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. The first half, as you can tell from the scoreboard, dominated by the Knights with a score of 42-20. The Knights doing a great job of capitalizing on opportunities, and Salem College really struggling to get anything going, really. It's been an interesting one to see for sure in this early season conference game. And so, let's look at the stats here for both teams, of course. For Southern Virginia, you have plenty of great action. I mean, we talked about the fact that they've been getting down the floor, trying to get those layups, those short shot opportunities. They made a couple of three-pointers as well. But leading the way in points, J.D. O'Bray with 6 points, Courtney Olson with 6, Marie Severn with 6, and Emma Camden with 5. So spread out all the way across the board. And Colby, you and I were talking about before the half ended how the fact that the Knights have been able to get so many players on the roster on the floor tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's in the first half. We're looking so far in this game, in the first half, 14 of the Knights players saw action, and I believe it was 10 out of those 14 played at least 5 minutes.
And those are significant minutes, especially in a game. Again, we talked about younger players getting in a conference game, getting the feel of that atmosphere. And whereas for Salem College, I believe they've had almost every single player on their smaller roster get on the floor today. Again, they only have 10 players here on their roster that are able to play. And so one fact that's definitely going to go into this second half is fatigue. Are able to keep up when you don't have as much depth on your bench as Southern Virginia does, especially if the Knights will be pressing this entire time and trying to get those fast break opportunities. How long until the wheels fall off?
Oh, absolutely. And, from the first half, the Spirits couldn't really come up with a lineup that could really compete minute by minute with whatever 5 players Coach Schroeder had on the floor for the Knights.
Absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see how this...
that fatigue is just gonna come into play here, very soon, if not already. A 22-point lead coming out of the half. The Spirits are really gonna have to battle here in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter to try and keep the game close.
Absolutely. It'll be very interesting to see how both teams respond after that first half. Looks like Southern Virginia will start with the ball. Their starting lineup is back on the floor for them. That includes J.D. O'Bray, Addison Newman, Emma Camden, Alyssa McRolla, and Courtney Olson. And for Salem College on the floor for them, they have Alize Munn, and number 4, Alize Brooks. They have number 2, Minnie Griffin on the floor starting the second half. Etchindu able to take it away, and also starting the second half for Salem College is number 32, Cree Bass, and number 55, Tansy Etchindu. And the layup good for Salem College. They strike first in the second half.
Yeah, it was Minnie Griffin, like you said, a starter here in the second half.
And taken away by Alize Munn. That's going to be a double dribble. Very easy call there on number 32, Cree Bass. So already starting off the second half, we're seeing a lot more urgency from Salem College. We're seeing a lot more pressure defensively.
Yeah, for the first time we're seeing them pick up the Knights full court here. And they don't really have any foul trouble, so they can afford to be a little aggressive on defense.
That was sort of thrown up by Alyssa McRolla. I think she may have been midair trying to maybe pass it to Courtney Olson. Salem College being very patient with it as Griffin up with a shot, no good, rebounded by Olson. Up ahead to O'Bray, able to save that one, and that's taken away by Bass. The defensive hands for Salem College in this second half so far have been fantastic. They've been getting in the way of every pass Southern Virginia's made.
They've done a really good job of getting in the passing lanes here the first minute and a half here of the third quarter. Coach Schroeder's going to ask for a timeout and get it here. With just 1:31 gone here in this third quarter, so kind of seen a different team come out here from Salem right at the first part of the third quarter.
And if I'm Salem College and head coach Sheree Boyd, I'm loving that. I'm loving the fact that Southern Virginia's having to call a timeout just a minute and a half into this third quarter. That means you're doing something right. That means you came out of halftime really stepping it up. It means you said the right things in the locker room to try to fire up your team. And so now, of course, Coach Lynette Schroeder is going to try to do the same thing for her Knights. She's going to have to sit them down and say, hey, we got to wake up. Yes, we won the first half, but just because we win the first half doesn't mean you win the whole game. You got to finish. There's whole other quarters to play. Let's play them.
Well, and it's not, so much just this game. Of course, the game's still at hand here. 42-22 early in the third quarter. But Coach Schroeder, she's coaching for next week, next month, February, when we get down to the last few games of conference. And you can't have stretches of a minute and a half, 2-3 minutes where you're just not playing basketball.
You have to establish consistency and a mentality of always finishing strong, making sure you're not sleepwalking on the floor.
And on the flip side, like you said, Coach Boyd from Salem, she's got to be happy with the way her players came out of halftime. You always worry that they're going to come out and just kind of give up. They were doubled up by halftime, and but they're coming out here and competing hard the first part of this third quarter, so that's a good sign.
So that'll be a foul called on Olsen. He'll stay with the Spirits. Colby, you're absolutely right. It's very easy if you have a first half like the Spirits did. Etchendu with the shot. That is up and in for Etchendu. But if you have a first half like they did, it's very easy to get in your own head and think, okay, well, this game's a lost cause. We can't really do a whole lot to recover from this, so let's just go out there and go through the motions. But that's not what winners do. Winners go out there and try to make adjustments, try to increase their energy, and make the plays that they need. Here's Olsen drilling into the paint. Up left hand, she's going to be fouled by Etchendu. And we'll send Olsen to the line.
No, so they've cut the lead by 6 points. Here in the first couple minutes, and they're telling SVU, if you're gonna take this game from us, you're gonna have to play. We're not just gonna roll over and die here, even though we're down 20 points at halftime.
That first free throw from Olsen is good. She's now 3 for 5 from the line. Second free throw is up and good. Make it 4 for 6. That pass out of bounds. Munn trying to advance it up the floor to Bass. Just too far to the outside. And like you mentioned, Colby, Salem College really trying to apply that full court pressure, which is something they did not do in that first half. Here's Camden. And that's going to be out of bounds on Camden. And kind of like how the Spirits are doing full court pressure in this second half so far, we've seen the Knights back off from that, which how they started off so fast in the first quarter is that full court pressure getting steals and fast break layups. So sort of a reverse in strategy for both teams right now.
3 seconds.
So 3 seconds on the Spirits. We'll go back to the Knights.
And sometimes that's a difficult thing, when you're ahead, 42-20 at halftime. Even as a coach, you have to wonder, if you come out with a full court press, how's that going to look to the other team? Are they going to accuse you of running up the score? But it's a reminder here, you got to keep playing though.
That shot off the rim from Newman. And taken away by McRolla. Gets to Olsen, up with the left hand, up and in. That was taken away from Brooks. Brooks was just fighting to keep the ball as she was swarmed by Knights defenders. That's taken away by O'Bray. She loses control of the dribble, tries to get into McRolla, who goes up with the left hand and in. It wasn't the prettiest fast break in the world, but it worked.
Definitely not how you draw it up in the huddle, but they got the job done.
So now the Knights have a 48-24 lead. Be a media timeout here at Southern Virginia University. Once again, we'd like to thank our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Southern Virginia University. If you're in Buena Vista, Virginia at some point for a game or just visiting campus, be sure to visit Straws Drinks and Eats and check out some of the great drinks that they have. Again, I mentioned my drink of choice, Dr. Pepper, cherry, lime, and some cream as well. They got some great selections there, just a great atmosphere. Thanks so much for partnering with us. And also, be sure to give our YouTube channel, Knights Broadcasting, a like. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below and let us know how we're doing. We appreciate all those who make these broadcasts possible, including our producers, our cameramen and women, all those who make this production what it is. We appreciate your efforts. So after Salem College came out at the beginning of this third quarter with a lot of energy, causing a lot of havoc defensively for Southern Virginia, now Southern Virginia is starting to fight back a little bit. After that timeout, they did exactly what I figured Coach Schroeder wanted them to. They woke up a little bit and started getting a little more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. They've reestablished their intensity and their domination on the game here. You know, and I'd look, you know, right now, you know, Coach Boyd over there probably telling her players, you know, just to come out with that same energy they started the half. I was looking here, there's only 2 players from Salem that even have fouls, and that's a Chendu and Griffin. They each have 2, but everybody else still has their full complement of 5 fouls to use here. And you know, I'd look to see them maybe muck the game up a little bit here and get a little bit more physical.
Absolutely. We mentioned before how the refs have really let them play in today's game. So if they're letting you be more aggressive, get in the face of the players that you're defending. Here's Munn with the ball. Goes with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Newman. Advanced it to McRolla. Short jump shot. Stopped in front of Atkins to attempt the jumper. That was no good. Here's Munn, mid-range jumper, up, no good. Rebounded by O'Bray. Here's Camden with the right-handed layup, up and in. Here's Griffin, deep 3. That's up and in for Griffin.
Number 2, Minnie.
Again, we mentioned the fact that she was Rookie of the Week last week for the USA South. I mean, keep making plays like that. McRollo wide open at the bottom of the rim. Assist from her sister, Courtney Olson.
Good look there by Courtney to find her sister down low, and a good finish too by Allie.
I mean, some of those shots are more difficult than to look. Underneath the rim, reverse layup, you're looking the other way. It's a lot of athleticism required to make that. A foul on number 1, J.D. O'Bray. That is her second personal foul of the half. Or of the game, excuse me. Now checking in for the Spirits, number 13, Deion Sampson. So it'll stay with the Spirits. Another 3 from Griffin. That one no good. Rebounded by Munn. Open lane up and gets the front row roll. Rolls into the rim for 2. Here's Olsen, wanted the jump shot. Tries to scoop it up between 2 defenders. Wanted the foul. That's taken away by O'Bray and fouled hard by Munn. So O'Bray will shoot 2, and we'll have a platoon swap here for Southern Virginia. Everyone but the shooter will be substituted. So coming in for Southern Virginia is Ryan Savoon, Barrett Jessup. We also have Eve Schmalbeck and Presley Hagee, where he has a couple fouls to her name. We're talking about the aggressive play that she had in the first half and had a lot of great looks. Got a little frustrated with her shots. Love to see some more action from her. Bray's second free throw is rattled out, no good. Savun in the paint. That one's up and good. Great pass there from Bass. That's taken away by Sampson. Wide open layup opportunity for Bass. Knights having back-to-back sloppy possessions. There's Smallbeck. Does get into Jessup. Up the left hand, no good. Recovered by Smallbeck. Mishandled pass from Savun. And goes back to Sampson. And will be fouled by Savun. And checking in for O'Bray is number 11 freshman Abigail Snyder.
13 fouls.
You know, just like that, we see a couple minutes go by here, and the Spirits have cut the lead to 19. Hasn't been under 20 for a while here, so Knights are going to have to battle back here and reestablish the lead.
They'll have to really calm down when they're advancing the ball down the floor to set up their offense. Griffin, the wild shot. That was knocked out of bounds by Atkins. It'll go back to Southern Virginia. And Abigail Snyder, who checks in for the first time tonight, was very instrumental in their home opener against Randolph-Macon, where she led the team in scoring. And she's knocked to the floor. I believe that foul will be called on Alize Brooks.
Yeah, that was her collegiate debut, and she had a great second half. You know, the first half maybe a little shaky, but if I remember correctly, I think she knocked down 3 3-pointers in that second half and really helped steady the ship and establish a good lead against Randolph-Macon.
Inbound to Savun. Snyder gets to Smallbeck. Great pass to Smallbeck. One of the better in-post passes we've seen today from Southern Virginia. Griffin with an easy layup with the left hand. Griffin now with 7 points. She's now second on the team. Maggie's shot no good off the backboard. Here's Griffin again. Left-handed shot, no good. Recovered by Savun. Dribbles right into a press. Savun in the paint, gets to Smallbeck. Another great pass to Smallbeck. Smallbeck's loving this offense right now. All the great passes are going to her.
Yeah, great possession there. Jessup saw Savun cutting through, dropped it off to her, and she made a good touch pass to Smallbeck.
Brooks is dribbling right into Savun, trying to draw a foul. Doesn't get a whistle blown.
Looked like we had 2 heads collide there, and nothing. Just a simple out-of-bounds call.
And checking in for the Knights is number 30, Ruth Kempler. Snyder trying to make her way to midcourt. Great cut pass to Savun. Kempler has to recover in the corner. Jessup, tough jumper. That's up and in for Jessup. I mean, that turnaround fade jumper over defender, that's no easy feat.
That was a good shot, good balance, nice touch.
The floater up and in for Sampson. Some good back and forth offense we've seen here from both teams in the past couple minutes. Snyder jumper, that's up, no good off front of the rim. Here's Griffin, up, blocked by Kempler. Now under 50 seconds in the third quarter. Savun pulls it out, trying to establish the offense. Here's Snyder for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. And they're gonna call travel here on Atkins. Checking in for the Spirits is number 1, Alize Munn. Munn, who leads the Spirits in scoring with 14. The only member of the Spirits roster with double digits in points. Jessup turnaround jumper once again, no good. Rebound by Snyder. That jumper's up and in. Gets her first points of the game. They're going to call a foul on Savoon. Said she was reaching in, but it was kind of hard to tell if she made any contact.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell if there was a lot of contact there. We've seen more go uncalled this game for sure.
10 seconds left in the third quarter. Spirits trying to hold on for the last shot. There's 2 seconds, and that's a turnover. I believe they're going to say it went out of bounds on Southern Virginia with just 0.2 seconds. Not much time to do anything.
Well, maybe just a tap.
Here's the inbound. That's up, no good. She may have been able to get it off, but either way, ended up not falling for the Spirits. So
yeah, it looked like the referee here on the sideline was waving it off, even as it was going up.
Because there's no way to get a regular shot up in 0.2 seconds, so I think everybody knows that. But the third quarter ends, the score is 60-37 in favor of the Knights of Southern Virginia. The Knights continuing their dominant stretch in this one, their second home game of the season. Right now for Southern Virginia, again, we saw some new players come in. Abigail Snyder coming in, providing some great offensive power there. Some great passes, a good jumper there in the middle of the paint. But that leaders in scoring. Olsen leads the team with 10 points. Following her is her sister McRolla with 8 points. And Camden with 7. Then multiple players with 6 points. So again, Knights once again doing a great job of just getting everybody involved offensively, getting some good quality shots, layups, got some good outside shots there as well from Savoon. Just a well-rounded game for Southern Virginia, exactly what you want in a conference game where you're heavily favored. Of course, you still think something's got to clean up, but exactly what you want if you're the Schroeders.
Oh, definitely. You know, the game hasn't been the cleanest game played. The referees have definitely been letting the players play. You know, so it's been a good experience. That's the type of atmosphere I think you want your young players to go into. You know, something where, you know, they're going to get pushed around, shoved a little bit, and have to fight back and claw back and show a little bit of toughness. So I don't think Coach Schroeder would complain a lot about the way the game's been called and the number of players she's been able to get into this ball game.
Right, absolutely. I think any coach looking at a game like this is very grateful for refs letting them play, especially when your team's on defense. Nice shot, no good. Olsen with the rebound. Advance up ahead to Camden. Up ahead to O'Bray. That's up and in for O'Bray. O'Bray now with 8 points. She ties Alyssa McRolla for second on the team in scoring. That floater up and no good for Sampson. Rebounded once again by Olsen. So the starting lineup for Southern Virginia back on the floor. 12 seconds of the shot clock. That's taken away by Bass. The no-look pass to Munn, and that is swatted, but a foul is called. It's been called on Alyssa McRolla. As her first foul of the game, and checking back in for the Spirits is number 55, Tamsi Echendu. Echendu came into this game averaging about 10.5 points per game. So far tonight, she has 6. That first free throw from Munn is good. Second free throw is up, no good. Rebounded by Olsen. Rolling the paint, power power dribble, up with the right hand, no good. Camden comes in, throws it off with a Salem defender. Maintains possession.
Those are the types of plays you like to see from your upperclassmen there. You know, fourth quarter, you got a big lead, but she's not going to slow down.
Very high IQ basketball play. In the moment you realize, hey, a backside cut for O'Bray. Great pass, McGrola to O'Bray. That one is tipped, taken away by McGrola. Advanced up to Camden. Here's Olsen with the pass up with the right hand, off the glass and in. Olsen had a hard time handling that pass, but once she got it, able to turn around and get it off the backboard. Off the foot of Sampson, McGrola running for it, gets it, and it falls right back into the hands of Battistini. Battistini had just turned around on the floor and the ball falls right into her lap.
Good hustle there by McCrolla, not afraid to go down on the ground to fight for that ball. 3 nights around that ball, so good hustle.
That's another thing coaches will take any day of the week. As a player throws himself on the floor to try to get the ball rather than just trying to pick it up and try to make a play. Secure the ball, get it for your teammates. Great hands from Camden. Bass goes in and is shot on, or fouled on the shot. The foul will be on Emma Camden, the junior guard from here in Buena Vista, Virginia, went to Mary McClure High School, just down the road. Bass's first free throw. Rouse off the front of the rim and in. Gives her 3 points on the night. Make sure we're cleaning up some blood here on the floor. Always gotta make sure you keep everything sanitary and clean, all that good stuff. But again, one consistent thing we've seen so far in this game is whenever the starting 5 that started this game is in, they're doing a really great job of advancing it down the floor, getting those quick opportunities. And again, it's just great court vision, seeing who's down the floor, seeing who's open, see who's got an opportunity at a layup. And that goes all the way across the board. Every player, I think, has shown signs of that at some point in this game.
Absolutely, and it just shows they're able to play at that high level, you know, high intensity, really move the ball and apply the pressure to the other team.
Here's a great pass into Camden, who was fouled on the shot. Once again, another example of pushing it down the floor, trying to find the open cutter. Free throw for Camden. First free throw is very short. She's shaking her head knowing that wasn't pretty. Fans in the crowd telling her that it happens. Second free throw is up. Definitely hits the rim, but unfortunately for her, it rattles out.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and out him, that guy in the crowd. That's Malachi Olsen. And he may have had one like that the other night in the men's game.
So he can relate. Rolla kicks out to Camden. Here's 3 from Camden. No good.
Of course, he's married to Courtney Olsen. And, you know, she was here supporting him the other night. And yeah, always good to see them, the men's and women's teams support one another.
That's a great thing, I think, about Salem University, that they do a great job getting all the teams to come to each different game as much as they can and show support to their fellow SVU athletes. Here's Munn battling against O'Bray. There's Olsen dribbling down the floor. Olsen rebounded it. Here's McGrola. Right hand. She'll be fouled on the way up.
And I should mention, though, Malachi had a great game the other night, though. The ball that may or may not have quite made it to the rim was definitely the low light of the night. He had a season high from the field. Had a really good game, so.
Absolutely one of the leaders in that men's roster for Southern Virginia. First free throw from McRolla is good. Second free throw up and no good. Tipped by Lessing. And McRolla will be substituted out in favor of Barrett Jessup. And much like in the third quarter, it'll be a platoon swap for Southern Virginia. So on the floor right now for the Knights is Sierra Banson, number 23. And of course, we previously mentioned number 22, Barrett Jessup. Number 12, Kenzie Landon. Number 34, Rayanne Lessing. And number 33, Madison Staples. And Staples is the one who knocks it out of bounds. So again, it's one of those games where it feels like everyone on the bench for Southern Virginia is able to come in, provide some quality minutes, really able to show what they can do. Griffin up with the left hand, a difficult shot over top of Lessing. And Griffin now has 9 points on the evening. Landed to Jessup, off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Savannah Atkins. Atkins, the senior from Dobson, North Carolina. Jessup diving for that ball. Griffin also diving. It'll be a jump ball, and it'll go to Southern Virginia.
The ball possession to the Knights.
A great example of the type of player that Barrett Jessup is. Barrett Jessup is not afraid to, get her hands dirty and dive to the floor and sacrifice herself to get possession.
Oh, definitely not. Fifth-year senior, leader of the team, not afraid to set the example.
Here's the three, top of the key. That is a little short for Madison Staples. Good open look. You'll take that any day of the week. Top of the key, wide open. And now ball goes back to the Spirits of Salem College. About 5.5 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter. Pass taken away by Staples. Advanced ahead to Bentz. That is up and in. Band's able to get the easy look after hustling down the court. The floater up and in for Sampson after she got Staples to really jump on the pump fake. That is any outside shooter's dream. Whenever you get someone to jump on the pump fake, it means you got a wide open lane for a good floater or a jump shot. Here's Landon up with the left hand. They're gonna call a charge on Landon. That
just wasn't able to quite stop her momentum before she just ran into that defender.
It is very hard when you're, when you first see an opening to the basket and it's closed so fast, it's really hard to stop yourself. And again, that's Landon's second foul on the game. We mentioned Landon early in the first half when she got some really good minutes and had a lot of great defensive plays, really tipped some passes and able to create some chaos for Salem College.
Going back to that layup by Bands, it was one of those instances where there are a couple of SVU players out there on the break, and as we've seen all night long, it's an unselfish team.
Right.
They're not afraid to make the extra pass. You could argue even sometimes they make an extra pass when it's not necessary, but that's what makes sure everybody's going to be on the same page and really work hard for one another. I looked up, the Knights, they have 25 assists on the night. So they're shooting 30 of 64 from the field, and of those 30 baskets, 25 have been assisted on.
That's exactly what you like to see as a head coach. If you look back at the statistics, as of course the Schroeders will later tonight and throughout these next couple of days, you'll look at that and say, hey, like you said, we were unselfish. We saw the open backside cutter or someone going down the core on a fast break, and we pulled the trigger on the passes.
You run the floor, you're going to get a layup.
Exactly, and that's any teammate or coach will love to see that. Because again, when you're getting on the floor before anybody else, you're hustling your butt off, and so that effort getting rewarded is always a positive thing. Here's the corner three, up, no good. As rebounded by Bass. Here's Munn with the easy jumper. Here's Lessing. Jessup for the jumper. Off the front of the rim, no good. Lessing with the rebound. Here's Landon with it. Kicks it out. Kick out to Lessing for the jumper once again. Rattles out Landon, another rebound, up with the left hand, no good. Finally brought down by Salem College. That floater up and good for Sampson. Sampson's got a lot of great looks in the paint, especially in the second half. Really doing a great job again. Good pump fakes, driving the lane. There's Landon the jumper. That one no good. That one was rebounded by Staples. She was blocked. Shot is no good. We'll have a couple substitutions here for Southern Virginia. Landon will be called for another foul.
And another line change for the Knights.
Once again, a platoon swap. Now on for Southern Virginia, got Ruth Kempler, Eve Schmalbeck, Abigail Snyder, Presley Hagee, and Mariah Savoon. And Sampson will be at the line for the Spirits. First free throw for Sampson is up and in. Sampson now has 7 points. I do want to correct myself really fast. Is Maria Savoon. Second free throw for Sampson is good. Sampson now with 8 points. As Snyder was handling it, the foul is called on Sampson. As she's caught reaching in. Inbounding, it will be Presley Hagee. Savoon dribbling it down the lane. Schmalbeck on the receiving end of yet again another good pass.
Great pass too. Hit her right in the hands. In the paint, you know, sometimes that can be a difficult pass with the traffic there.
That's 3 of the best passes that Southern Virginia has had in this game, all going to Schmalbeck. Schmalbeck now with 8 points in tonight's contest. Here's Hagee for 3. As off the front of the rim, no good. Here's Munn. I believe they're going to say that Savoon had touched it. Maybe it was touched by another Knight defender beforehand. Now approaching 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Snyder gets on the ground. Advanced ahead to Schmalbeck. Easy layup for Schmalbeck. Now with 10 points. The third Knight on this roster with double digits in points. Deep 3. That is no good for Sampson. Recovered by Savoon. Here's Kempler. Up and in. Easy shot. We talked about fatigue when it comes to Salem College, and when you have this many fast breaks, You're starting to kind of see that happen. You're starting to see Salem College come back on defense a little slower, which creates these other opportunities for the Knights to score.
But everybody's hustling. And Savoon, you got to give a shout out to her tonight. She's had some good minutes. Just looking over the stats here. That last rebound was her 7th rebound of the night. You know, and she goes 5'5", you know, one of the smaller players on the floor. So for her to have 7 rebounds, it means she's active and chasing stuff down.
And she is, as far as the roster is concerned, the shortest player on Southern Virginia's roster to be one of the leaders in rebounds. I mean, rebounding is more of a statistic of hustle and efforts than it is about height.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah, she is a hustler, so it's not a surprise that she'd get to that many, but it's a little surprising to have that many opportunities to find those rebounds for a guard.
So Snyder will be guilty of that foul, her first. Makes it team 5th. That free throw from Sampson, no good. Sampson's second free throw is no good, rebounded by Schmalbeck. But it'll be a jump ball as Atkins got her hands on it and tried to rip it away. Kempler trying to defend, swats down and gets the call. That is her second foul. Now just a minute remaining in this one. Knights winning 75-49, pending Atkins 2 free throws. First free throw is up and in. Second free throw is also up and in. So now the Spirits are 12 of 20 from the charity stripe. Here's Savoon dribbling and kicking it out to Schmalbeck. And a foul will be called. That is called against number 12. That is Sarah Nelson, the junior from Mooresville, North Carolina. So Schmalbeck will go to the line. First free throw up and no good, off the back of the rim. Second free throw up and rattles in for Schmalbeck. She is now second on the team in scoring with 11. 40 seconds remaining. Wild shot almost goes in for Sampson. And she's trying to get the shot through the foul. That'll be Kempler's 3rd foul.
Not really a whole lot she could have done there. But Sampson there for the Spirits just kind of went into her and threw it up and was hoping for the best.
And that first free
rewarded
throw,
with a foul.
Indeed she was, and that first free throw is good for Sampson. Second free throw is up and in as well. Snyder cutting to the basket. They're going to call offensive foul on Snyder. That is her second foul. So these last couple of minutes, a lot of fouls being called. Not a whole lot of scoring happening aside from free throws. That shot no good, rebounded by Heggie. And that is batted away by Atkins. Now just over 13 seconds left in this one, 13.7 seconds to be exact. And the Knights will just hold on to it. As the Knights cruise to their second conference win of the year. They're now 2-1 in conference play and advanced to a total record of 3-2 with a score of 76-53 over the Spirits of Salem College. Again, we said it before and we'll say it again, just an overall good win for Southern Virginia. When it comes to shooting percentage, I mean, from the outside, it's not the most spectacular thing in the world, but they got the shots that they wanted, the shots in the fast break, advancing it down the floor. I think the main word you can use to describe this game was simply effort, honestly.
Definitely, they'd outwork the Spirits. They came out with a plan, got out to a good lead early on, and then just kind of maintained that intensity throughout. So not a horrible game from the field. 45%. Knights are 33 of 73, 4 for 14 from three-point range, which translates to just under 29%. And then free throws, we've talked about that all year. We're under 50% on that. But definitely room for improvement, but the Knights are sitting good through 5 games.
It is always nice to think as both a fan or a player or a coach that if you win a game by a score of 23, you say, oh, there's room to improve. That's the best time that you can say that to yourself. And so again, the Knights getting a solid win. The Spirits fall to 1-5 on the year, still trying to figure some things out in this young season. But we thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast of Southern Virginia Athletics. And once again, want to thank our partners, Straws, Drinks, and Eats. And if you would like to partner with SVU Athletics or promote your business on campus, please contact Women's Assistant Basketball Coach Brett Schroeder at brett.schroeder@svu.edu. That is brett.schroeder@svu.edu. Once again, I'm Dawson Weeder, joined by my good friend Colby Kemp. It's been a pleasure bringing this broadcast to you today. God bless and go Knights.